What is stress? Have you ever experienced stress at work? I think a lot of times we're very quick to be able to define stress. It's easy for us to say that we have experienced stress before, but stress looks very different on each of us as individuals, as well as different kinds of stress. Take a moment to reflect on if you've ever experienced stress at work. Then pause the video and take a moment to make a list. What are things that stress you out? Really think about situations and times and places that you have felt stressed out, and make sure to document them. Are there certain situations that are more stressful than others? Indicate that on your list. And why are they? Why are they more stressful than others? And finally, what do you look like or feel like when you're stressed at work? What does that feel like internally? And externally, how do you display this to the people around you? There's going to be a link that is popping up in the top right hand of your screen. We're going to watch a video on how stress can be good. Please click the link and it will take you to this video. Then return and you can finish the rest of the workshop. What are some things that are stress factors for you? We know that stress is inevitable, but after that video, we now start to understand that we can use stress for good, and there are good types of stress. But first, we need to figure out what stresses us out. Reflecting on the stressful situations you wrote down at the beginning, were there any patterns? Really reflect. Were situations similar that stressed you out? Were there certain people that stressed you out? Were there certain situational factors that stress you out? And then look at your list to see, are there ways to avoid these situations or factors that stress you out? Sometimes there will be, and other times there won't. For example, if being on a short time schedule stresses you out, how can you plan ahead and better manage your time so you're not left with little time to finish what you're hoping to? However, there might be things that just pop up and are part of your workday that are unavoidable, that are going to add stress to your life. And that's where we really want to help you learn not only how to prepare for stress, but also how to handle stress when it comes up in the moment. So how can we prepare for stress? At this time, please reference your Techniques for Dealing with Stress handout. Plan ahead. Find ways to incorporate some of your de-stress techniques into your day to avoid letting the stress overwhelm you. There's a lot of ways that you can do this. Some of it might be making sure that you have a clear schedule, knowing what to expect for your day, planning in breaks, giving yourself time to walk away from things that are stressing you out or get your mind on something else. Taking care of yourself. Are there ways to make sure that you're getting what you need to de-stress? What are ways that help you de-stress or help you release the pressure that you may be feeling? And how can you find a way to work that into your day? The next one is utilizing your support system. Let them know that you'll most likely be feeling stressed out by an upcoming situation, and ask them to provide support for you in whatever way that looks like for you. For example, ask them to call and check in on you. Ask them to call and distract you from something else to allow your mind to focus on a non-stressful subject for a bit. Or if you can, ask them to help you with the situation so it hopefully lightens the stress you might experience. Some of these situations are ways that our support system can help us be successful. Our support system and the people that care about us want to see us be successful, but it's important that we communicate with them clearly what we need from them and how they can support us. Preparing your body. Remind yourself to drink lots of water, eat a fulfilling meal, and get a good night's rest. These are all physical factors that can affect your mental wellness and your stress levels. We need to make sure that we're taking care of our physical health to help us de-stress and re-regulate our mental health. Our physical and mental health are connected and reflect our overall well-being. But it's important that we take time to make sure that that's a priority for us and making sure that we're giving it the proper time that it needs to help us prepare our body to be successful for the next day and be in a place where we're better able to handle stress. Create your environment. Find ways to make your physical environment relaxing. This can be using specific smells like lavender, adjusting the lighting, choosing to have lamps instead of using the overhead lighting, or keeping your window open to make sure you're getting natural light. Keeping fidgets around to help you when you need to help yourself get grounded when you're feeling overwhelmed. Fidgets are a great way to help us release some of the physical symptoms of stress, of feeling jittery and wanting to release that tension, but allow us to do that so that our mind can then prepare and refocus on what we need to focus to get our stress in control and move past what things might be stressing us out. Those are some great ways to help us prepare for stress or be ready when we know that a stressful situation is approaching. But how can we handle stress when it comes up unexpectedly on the job, as it many times will? We are now going to move to the bottom half of your handout, techniques for dealing with stress. How to handle stress in the moment. This first exercise is something you can do by yourself, or if you have someone in your support system that you trust, you can have them help you with this as well. First, name 5 things you can see. This helps you visually remind yourself of what is in your environment and what can help you ground yourself to bring you back to where you're at. 4 things you can touch. This doesn't necessarily mean things that you need to reach out and touch, but thinking about, what do you feel? The clothes on your body, the shoes on your feet, maybe a watch that you might be wearing, glasses. Thinking of things that really start to remind yourself of what you're feeling in your environment. Next, 3 things that you can hear. It might be helpful to close your eyes for this one to help your senses focus more on what you can hear. What are things? Are there outside noises? Are there birds outside? Are there machines that are working? What are things that you can hear that help you refocus and ground yourself back to where you're at? 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This is a strategy that you can do in your head by yourself, or if you have someone that you trust that can help you, teach them this exercise so that when you start to feel stressed out, you have someone as a support system to help you practice this strategy. The next one is a color exercise. This one, again, can be done by yourself in your head or with someone else if you have someone that you trust in your support system that wants to help you be successful. What you do is you choose a color and you begin to name as many things of that color as you can think. For example, green, grass, green beans, turtles, frogs, and so forth. This activity helps our mind re-regulate and focus on something that is not stressing us out. When we have to focus on thinking of things that are a certain color, it helps our brain focus on a separate task and allows our body and brain to start de-stressing and deregulate without us even realizing that we're doing it. These next two, the first one is box breathing. This is really helping your physical body start to slow down those stress symptoms that you're experiencing. When we think about taking a really deep breath in for 5 seconds, you can do this with your hands on your legs sitting up straight. You can do this with your hands on your belly to make sure that you are breathing fully in and expanding your lungs. Hold your breath for 5 seconds and then breathe out for 5 seconds. Again, really focusing on how you can make sure that you're taking really deep breaths in and really deep breaths out. You can repeat this as many times as you feel is helpful to help you relax and allow your mind to reset and bring you back to where you're really at right now. Our last one that we have is called pause, delay, and ask questions. This is an acronym that we use when we start to feel overwhelmed or stressed out. Pause. Allow yourself a moment to take a deep breath. This can be utilizing the box breathing strategy that we just talked about, or this can be just really taking a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. Delay. Step away from the stressor if possible. This can be as simple as excusing yourself to get a drink of water or go to the bathroom. This can be taking a walk around the block to allow yourself time and space away from the physical presence of that stressor. And then the last one, ask questions. Really reflect and challenge yourself. Why is this stressing me out so much? Should this be stressing me out? Or is there possibly another factor from another part of your life that is affecting your stress levels and making you feel more stressed out about this than you normally would be? What can you do to change the situation? What do you have control of in the situation? And what are ways that you can really help yourself refocus on what you have control of? And ask yourself, are there ways that I can help myself re-regulate and de-stress? What do I need to do to help me successfully navigate this situation? Hopefully you feel like you have learned more about your personal stress factors that you experience, and how you can handle stress. Not all of these techniques are going to work for you, and that's okay. Our hope is that at least one of these techniques is one that can help you, especially when you're at work. Thinking about how you can either prepare for stress or better handle stress when it comes up unexpectedly at work. Write down somewhere so that you will remember it and it will be useful to you. Bring this back to your case manager and reflect and utilize them as that support system of how you can work this into your daily routine or how you can make sure that you can use this to be successful when you're on the job. If you have any questions about anything that we talked about today, connect with your case manager and they will be able to answer them for you. Thank you for participating in this workshop.